How would you like a lot less stress in your life? How about a lot more happiness in your life? My name is Dan Brooks and I'm the founder of GiveUpPain.com, and this is the Ultimate Stress Relief Video Workshop. You're here today because perhaps you were feeling stressed and you were looking for answers as I did whenever I was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from my work as a paramedic. Now I need you to understand something. I'm not a doctor or a therapist. I'm not a healer of any kind, and I'm not some sort of cult leader either. My only accreditation to teaching you here today is from my life experience. It doesn't make it right or wrong, it just makes it my experience. I am someone just like you who suffered from chronic stress and pain, and I wanted to find a simple solution other than years of therapy on a couch or taking drugs through allopathic medicine methods. So the information you receive here is from my research and from my journey. All I ask is that you keep an open mind, and if you can, just suspend your disbelief, because what you're going to see doesn't look like conventional means of dealing with stress. So just suspend your disbelief. If it works for you, then great. Use the techniques that I'm going to teach you here today. If it doesn't work for you, fine, then just throw it away and go merrily on your way to find some other way of dealing with it. I want to give you this technique right up front in this video workshop series because I want to prove to you that it works, and then if you're willing to take the journey with me, then we'll actually get in much deeper with this and teach you the root cause of what your stressors may be, and we'll deal with them. And this is the same methods that I use to deal with my stress permanently. But first, a quick explanation of how Wikipedia defines stress. Stress is a failure to respond adequately to mental, emotional, or physical demands. Now this is the key part, whether actual or imagined. Signs of stress may be cognitive, emotional, physical, or behavioral. And some of the symptoms include poor judgment, a general negative outlook on life, excessive worriness, moodiness, irritability, agitation, inability to relax, feeling lonely, isolated, or depressed. And some of the physical signs that manifest out of it can include aches and pains, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, dizziness, chest pain, rapid heartbeat, eating too much or not enough, sleeping too much or not enough, social withdrawal, procrastination or neglect of responsibilities, increased alcohol, nicotine, or drug consumption, and nervous habits such as pacing about, nail biting, or even neck pains. And if you're suffering from stress, you probably already have some of these conditions going on in you if you stop and think about it. So let's call this a grand experiment in your stress relief for today. And I'm going to start off with I'm going to teach you 3 little simple exercises that you can do. And we're going to actually measure and prove stress to you. And we're going to try and clear it out for you at the same time. And then we'll go back once again and we'll just reconfirm whether this actually works for you or not. So it's going to be, it's just a simple experiment. I call it a finger rub exercise. This is not an exacting science, okay? So a lot of things can affect whether it works or not, but we're going to give it a try, and most of the time it works for people, but we're going to give this a try and see how it works for you. So what we're going to do is just take the pad of your thumb and the pad of your index finger and just rub the 2 of those together, just back and forth, just slowly. Rub the 2 of them back together. And now say your name as you're rubbing. So my name is, and insert your name there. So my name is Dan Brooks. All right, and it should be nice and smooth. Just keep rubbing your fingers back and forth there. Now, while you're rubbing, say, my name is Benjamin Franklin. My name is, and did it get nice? Did it start to get a little sticky? So back and forth, like I don't, the camera probably isn't picking this up. So did your fingers get a little sticky? Well, even telling a lie has an effect on how the cellular body deals with stress. And it's amazing that telling a lie actually creates stress in us, even an absurd one. So let's get into this a little bit more again. So once again, just rub your fingers back and forth together like this, nice and slowly, and say, my name is, so my name is Dan Brooks, nice and smooth, rubbing back and forth. All right, now what I want you to do is, I just want you to think of a past traumatic or emotional event, negatively emotional event in your life. All right. Or perhaps if you were angry with somebody recently, just think of that event. And do your fingers get sticky going back and forth together? Isn't that interesting? What you've just experienced is a physiological response to a thought. But more on this in a moment as we get going. You see, on an energetic level, your body remembers. And even reliving a past event, just remembering it, it has the same result as a current event. So no thought lives in the body rent-free. So let's try an exercise together now. For now, I just want to teach you this 2-minute stress relief technique, and I'll explain how and why all this works the way it does in the other videos that are coming. Okay, the technique is called EFT, or Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's very good for symptom relief of stress or pain. And I'll teach you how it can be used later on to resolve the cause of your stress or pain in harmony with a method that I've developed called the Akers method. Now, you're going to be tapping on a few acupuncture points on your body and simply repeating a few words after me. So first, I just want you to think of that. Remember that negative event we used for the finger rub exercise? I want you to just use that negative event as an example. And I just want you to give it a name, just a one-word title. So just give it the first word that pops into your head, just give it the title of that word, okay? You're going to use this word in this exercise. Every time I say blank, then that is where you insert that word in. Okay, and we're just going to start by tapping on an acupuncture point here on the karate chop part of the hand, and just tapping like so. And while we're doing this, I'm going to say, even though I have all these emotions around my blank event, that is where you're going to put in, even though I have all these emotions around my, and then whatever it is for you. And then the continuation of that is, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay? So you insert your word, just follow along with me and just repeat after me as we're doing this. So let's get started then. We're going to do this 3 times. Even though I have all these emotions around my blank event, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have all these emotions around my blank event, perhaps I can love myself. Okay, carrying on. Even though I have all these emotions around my blank event, perhaps I can forgive myself. Okay, very good. Let's move on to the next point. It doesn't matter. You can tap with your right hand, left hand. It really, if you want to tap with both hands, you can. It's really relevant in this case. So the first point we're going to be tapping on is just right up in here in between the eyebrows. It's called the eyebrow point, and you're just going to be tapping with a couple of fingers in there. So just begin that, and then just repeat after me. All these emotions around my blank event. Okay, on the side of the eye, right on this bone on the side of the eye, just tap on there and repeat after me. These emotions around my blank event. Okay, underneath the eye, right there on the cheekbone, all these emotions around my blank event. Underneath the nose, all these emotions around my blank event. Now just between the chin and the upper lip here, or the lower lip rather, tap in there. All these emotions around my blank event. On the collarbone, all these fearful emotions around my blank event. Now under the arm, midline in the middle of the body, I'm just going to tap in there. All these emotions. Okay, last point, on top of the head, all these emotions around my blank event. Okay, take a deep breath in, let it out. Okay, do you feel a little bit calmer right now? Maybe a little lighter inside? That's great. That's, we've actually had people that go through this for a few minutes. And they'll actually say that colors in the room actually become brighter and more vivid for them. And what that is, it's just a sign of stress leaving you and you're starting to get into this relaxed state. So just the last part of this exercise now, once again, go back, rub your fingers together again, do the finger rub exercise, and go, my name is, so my name is Dan Brooks, smoothie, smoothie. Now I want you to think of that event again. Did it stay smooth, or did it get a little, or did it get sticky? Or is it a little bit less sticky than what it was before? If it didn't get as sticky as what it was before, or it's gone completely, it's nice and smooth now, then that is a good sign that you've began to disconnect your past emotions around that event in your life. And we're going to work further on this in the videos that are going to follow. You can substitute the words for emotional events, for those emotional events, for current emotions too, for current events that are happening to you. Or let's say somebody's upsetting you at work or really got you pissed off over something. Then you can also use it at that. And it's the exact same process. You just say, even though so-and-so is really ticking me off right now, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then, of course, so-and-so is making me angry, is it really pissing me off? Whatever your language is, just use it. It doesn't matter. We use the exact same technique for pain. Even though I have this sharp pain in my lower back, let's say, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then you just go, this sharp pain in my lower back. This sharp. And that is the evolution of how this technique works. So that's all we have today in this video. In our next segment, I'm going to share with you my story, so how I came to discover all this, and how I discovered to relieve stress permanently. And we're also going to teach you how chronic stress is responsible for about 90% of all autoimmune diseases and illnesses today. And we're going to start you on that journey to reverse stress out of your life permanently and give you a viable way of dealing with it on a daily basis as it comes into your life. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really hope you enjoy that you join us for the remainder of the workshop, and we'll see you there. Have a great day. Once again, this is Dan Brooks, GiveUpPain.com. Bye now.